The decisions we make in life often affect others whether we realize it or not. Kind of like the butterfly effect. For example, you go to the gas station and pick up a candy bar. It was the last one. Another person comes in later after having a bad day. They see that their favorite treat is sold out. This causes them to snap, so they kill the clerk. Alright, maybe that's extreme, but it shows how we're all connected. Last night I had to make a decision. I'm still questioning it if it was the right one or not. Around 9 p.m. I took my dog out for her nighttime walk. The town I live in is pretty small, but we do have back alleys. Taking them is a nice break from the same scenery every time I go out. Fog is set in on a cold spring evening. The bright moon casts ominous shadows on the ground. My dog, Daisy, and I had just started down the closest alley. There were 2 garbage cans on either side as I entered the back street. One on the left was red, and the one on the right was blue. Never seen those in the neighborhood before, I thought to myself. We were halfway down when something darted across our path about 20 feet ahead. Disruption to the mist caused it to swirl around. I thought it was just some kid that was in a hurry to get home and paid it no mind. We kept going across the road into the next alley. The same thing happened again. About 20 feet in front of us, a figure darted across our path, from behind one garage to behind another, just like in the previous alley. A knot formed in my stomach, but we continued. It could have been a coincidence, just 2 kids running late to get home, nothing to really worry about. Daisy and I picked up our pace. Probably would have been best to turn back, but I didn't want to let fear beat me. I mean, why would I have been afraid of 2 kids? At the end of the alley, right when we were about to cross over again, I noticed it. 2 trash cans on either side of the road. The one on the left was red, and the one on the right was blue. The odds of that happening were pretty up there, especially since the houses they were behind looked exactly like the other 2. I had never noticed that before, most likely because they were never like that before. By this point, I decided to give in to my intuition that something was wrong. It was too much of a coincidence and didn't feel right. Daisy and I turned around to go back. We only went a few short feet before what I had previously thought was a kid or a teen came out again. It didn't run across the alleyway this time. This time it came out into the middle and stood there. Now able to get a better look, it appeared to be a man, but in the fog it was quite difficult to tell. Not like he was an imposing figure. Maybe about average height and build with what looked like to be a black hoodie and jeans. The feeling he gave me is what caught me off guard. Hairs on the back of my neck stood up. Senses tingled like when you're in danger, but don't really know why. I turned to run, got across the road, and that's when I noticed it was there as well. Of course it was. I was still on the same alley. Daisy didn't know what was going on. Not that she would be much help if anything happened. Small poodles aren't the best attack dogs. The fog got thicker. My bearings were disoriented. Cold seeped into my bones. Alright. I'll go out the alley and out to the main street, I said to myself. I tug on Daisy's leash to keep her with me. We turned the corner. I looked back to make sure we weren't being followed. When I turned around again, there was those 2 trash cans. One red and one blue scared me right in the face. It also looked like the figure had moved closer by another 10 feet. The moonlight didn't help to reveal who it was in the dense mist. A vague outline of a person was all I could make out. My heart started to bump wildly in my chest. Palms grew sweaty, and stomach became nauseous. The fog continued to thicken and almost engulfed me now. Maybe I didn't go the way I thought I did when I looked back, so I returned the way I came one more time. Relief washed over me as the fog passed. Once I went by the garbage cans, the road was normal again. Moonlight beamed down the road. I felt like I had just woken up from a bad dream. Daisy and I hurriedly made our way back home. I stopped mid-step, jaw dropped open, and sweat beaded down my forehead. 2 garbage cans were in the front of my driveway. Left one red, right one blue. Through the dark windows, I saw something move in the moonlight inside the house. Why I hadn't thought of it before, I don't know. My hand shot to my pants pocket to retrieve my phone. A light lit up the window. It was the colored screen of my cell, fingers frantically searching in desperation. An exasperated sign left me. I had forgotten my mobile in the house. Faster than lightning, I bolted out of there. Poor Daisy could barely keep up. At one point, I think I was dragging her. The fog began to return. It crept in around my feet and threatened to swallow me up. Turning a corner put me back into the alleyway. Head swam in confusion as to what was going on. Madness leaned on me with the promise of a mental breakdown. Silent screams died in my throat. Just when I thought I was going to lose it, the black figure showed again. Daisy growled, my knees got weak, and the thing slowly moved closer. 5 feet away, and its features were still shrouded. Wisp of fog whirled around it. Daisy snarled and bared her teeth. Ice-cold tendrils of mist where his hand should have been. Legs gave out as it grabbed my throat. Suspended in the air, my feet dangled helplessly. The thing pointed at the trash cans. "Red or blue?" it asked. What? This is over some stupid trash cans? One of them kills you. The other kills someone else. Either way, someone will die. What if I don't choose? Then we stay here until you starve to death. Would you rather die slowly and painfully, or fast? It wasn't much of a decision. I do like to eat. The red one. No, wait, the blue. It pulled me closer and then turned to me. He put his face up to mine. From that distance, I could finally make a few things out. There were no features, no eyes and no mouth. There was only fog wrapped up in a pitch of midnight. There were its hoodie and jeans. It wasn't human, and I don't think its clothes were made of cloth. They flowed like something from another dimension. I never heard of anything like this. Nightmares played upon its cloudy skin like one of those old-timey moving pictures, or a zoetrope. Images would rise and fall the longer I looked at it. In one, there was an open mouth that swallowed a person whole. Another one was a scene of a wolf devouring a woman. A third one, and this is where I completely lost it, was of a family being burned alive in a house. This almost made me faint. Was it showing me what would happen to the person I chose? Or what would happen to me? I'm not ashamed to say this, but I may or may not have pissed myself at this point. It dropped me to the ground and turned to leave. 3 days, it said as it sifted away. Of course I ran home as fast as I could, and didn't sleep the rest of the night. I don't know what it meant by 3 days. Is that 3 days until I die, or 3 days until someone else dies? It hasn't even been 1 day and I'm freaking out. I really don't know what to do, or why it even chose me. That's the thing that has been spinning in my head all night. Why me? If I die, then at least the world knows why. If someone else dies, then I'm sorry. What other choice did I have? What would you have done?